you asked me a question, I wasn't able to answer it yet. You said I was. You immediately hold on. You immediately said I wasn't out there. But however, my daughter asked me about that, right? And I told her I put my time in, and I am protesting in my heart. But
hey, I got your brother here.
hold on, because I was just thinking about that because a part of me was like thinking to myself, maybe I'm supposed to be out there. However, I put time in. I got three major marches. I did the Million Man March. I did Jamestown, and we set new precedent here in Charleston. So as far as I'm concerned, Miss Amy, with all due respect, I precipitate what's going on now in the streets and so forth. And I also got to say, I have a question mark because some of these marches are led by people I don't know. And I don't know what's going on. Now, it's good to see that they're protesting and so forth. But I asked the question. I had to check and see who was leading these marches. The one recently over here in Morgantown is led by white folks. Okay?
Here you go. I just called Miss Nadine. I said, Miss Nadine, excuse me, John. I say, did you see who was leading these marches? I say, now, when I looked up, I ain't seen nothing but some white people. I say, now, wait a minute. What didn't happen here? It's like the brothers and the sisters was in the back. Like the white brothers and sisters is saying, stand down. We got this. You know why, John? You know why I'm doing that? You know why they doing that?
Well, you tell me.
Their mamas and their daddies at home.
Yeah, because you say the white people are doing the. Say that again, Miss Amy.
The white boys and girls that broke free and they demonstrate daddies and mamas with all of this stuff.
That's a good point.
Do that with them children. It's just like the love children.
Miss Amy, that's a good point. So you're saying to me, real quickly, you're saying to me that when white kids get out here and protest, it's an act of rebellion against their parents and independent. Same thing when a white woman goes and chooses a black man. It's an act of independence for some of them against their white parents who don't like them. So
absolutely,
that's a unique perspective, and only us old heads, okay? Because some of us old heads, some of the young people don't recognize the fact that us old heads, we precipitate what you're doing now, and you better listen to us, okay? But if you want to do your thing and get out there, I respect the young people for going out there doing their thing.
Me too. I'm glad they're out there. It's their turn.
It's their turn. And Miss Amy, I got.
Like you, like me. I took my trips.
That's,
I knew what time it was.
That's right.
I ran around the world and back. It's your turn.
That's right.
So, Amelia, if you think you got it in you, put it out here, sister. I want to see what you got.
I said, Miss Amy, me and you on the same team, okay? But I look at this in the kind of way that I had some question marks about this because some of this stuff is not black-led. Some of this stuff is working in hand with people that got hidden agendas. And when we organized with West Virginia Black Unity Coalition with the Juneteenth, that was us spearheading the organization, okay? And when we go off and we organize with other people, it takes us from spearheading the organized effort ourselves. Is Black Lives Matter talking about reparations, or are they just talking about the police killings? They talking
about the police killing right now.
They ain't talking about no reparations.
No,
not yet. I don't think Black man. I don't.
They got to get the people. Listen, John.
Okay.
We got to get the people to the street.
Okay.
They got the most important name. Black Lives Matter got the name.
You're right.
They the one got the spearhead. Now they'll talk about reparations, and when they decided who's going to divide the powers, what's the powers to be?
Yeah, see.
Now you can spearhead this thing. Now when it comes down, we'll fight each other. Because John, again, remember, terrorists and everything is set up in these groups right now because they need shelter.
Right. I have been seeing they got Antifa, which is a white.
And nobody else knew what Antifa was either.
It still remains unclear exactly what Antifa, but I believe Antifa and some of these groups are organizations that the government puts out there, hoping that our people go for them, and that it takes a legitimate grassroots activist like yourself, myself. We can't get the attention because they all on board with this organization. They think it's their organization, but it's the organization that the government put out there.
There you go.
So,
a lot of this stuff, they already done spearheaded it to cover Trump.
Yeah. So
it's them states that didn't want to join him, they got hit the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it, John. You can read it. You
Yeah.
know you wise enough.
Yeah, Miss Amy, that's why I had to sit back and assess this, and we had enough time to assess this. Okay, Wally called a couple days ago, and they had David Freisen on WAJR, and David Freisen was speaking in reference to the I don't call them riots, I call them rebellions. Okay,
Yeah.
and he was speaking in reference to that, and Happy Corchival asked him, does the looting take away from the sincerity of what happened, of responding to what happened to George Floyd? And Freisen spoke and he said he didn't think so. But the reason why the question was asked is that's what they want to change the narrative to George Floyd's death to now these niggas is looting, and you know what I mean? They were looting and.
Yeah, but they can't do that because the camera shows something else.
Right.
Y'all lived that y'all been leading them demonstrations. Them white boys was kicking them doors in and did you see that? They kicked those doors in and the blacks went through.
You know what? I've been watching that and paying attention to that. Miss Amber, you really be up on stuff. That's why I love you.
John, one night I stayed up about 3 o'clock. That's the night it was hot. And I watched that stuff. And I went from Sunday morning on and I watched that stuff. That's why I don't allow my own to tell me what's going. Did you watch it? I said, did you watch the whole thing? You can't tell me if you didn't watch it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And what we got going on here, we have to be careful and that's why I'm careful to stay with the West Virginia Black Unity Coalition, because I know
you got protection.
I know it started out amongst us. We didn't have to ask nobody else for permission. We didn't have to go get no white allies. And anytime you get white allies, you got to watch them real closely.
Them white allies join the party themselves. That's part of the skinheads, part of his men, part of the terrorists in there. You got to watch. That's why we search them boys before they walk down the street with us.
See?
Now you hear them talk about this third group is in there. We know that.
Now, Miss.
That's who it is. Trump's men is in there. The skinheads are in there. Terrorists is in there, and everything else.
They got them all. But see, we was told years ago.
I told you that.
It came from a number. You told me. I heard from the ministers in the Nation of Islam that you got to watch, because they'll be out in the streets too, hollering, "Hey man, free so and so." All the while, they ain't nothing but plants. I got Miss Amy. I need to tell you this. Out of nowhere, I got white folks walking up to me. If I'm out and about on my motorcycle, white boys will roll up on me. "Hey man, that's a good motorcycle." And I be like, who is this guy? What is he doing rolling up on me? I be thinking it's a test to see if I won't smack him or something. I be wondering, why is he rolling up on me with this stuff? And I have this happen all the time, more frequently when I go out, and my guard is up. Okay.
Let me tell you another reason why they doing the job. Do not be afraid. Number one, you ain't got no business in the movement if you're scared.
Right. And I'm not afraid.
You can't do nothing.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I spent all day yesterday cleaning up my mother's house with my brother. I'm not afraid.
In the right place. You pay. When you can pay your dues, John, we can sit back. If they want us, come and get us. Call us. Like LaWanda told me today. Miss Amy, I know what's going on, Paramount. Them young kids is calling her. Now, either that or we'll get on the phone, Mama, so, or somebody get in there knowing my expertise. They call me. I'm not going out there now. Number one, I ain't in no shape, because I might have to get out here and go back to Cleveland Clinic, because I've been swelling.
Okay.
But, John, listen. Brother, son, you carry on. Listen, when they send for you, you don't have to be present. It's now time for you to reap your benefits.
Yes, ma'am.
Let them young folks get a taste of what's going on. They got all that mouth. They don't want to come to meetings. They don't, okay. Ain't nobody tell you nothing.
That's right.
The day of reckoning is here, John.
And you Miss Amy, look. It's really a holy day in many ways for us, because it's an uprising, and look, we got everybody's attention now, okay? But look what it took. But look what it took, Miss Amy. 2 people had to die talking about, I can't breathe, okay? So we done been around. You've been around longer than me, but I've been around 30, 40 years dealing with them, right? And what I do is I've uploaded some of my own racist police encounters that I had in my files. Okay, so if you ask me, if you come to me and you ask me about anything, I can go and refer to my own personal files about my deliberate contact with them, where I was able to de-escalate racist police, racist tow truck drivers.
Me too. You know, I got my own personal story. I'm sitting back here home. Thing I'm gonna hit them with. So you let Marion County get down. Tell them all about it.
So if they call you again, you represent much of the foundation. Okay. There were others that came before us, but we stand on their shoulders, and those people out in the streets today stand on our shoulders. We OGs, sister.
Right now, that's right. And that's what y'all said is coming out.
Yeah, so.
One thing about it, John, they came out.
They did. I know they have.